A very good evening and thank you for joining GBS News at 9. My name is Stephen George and our sign language interpreter tonight is Paul Madeng. And now, President William Ruto is expected to visit Mount Kenya region after meeting the leadership from the mountain, a meeting that was scheduled to discuss on the president's visit, which many hope that it will bring in change in the region in terms of development. The president's visit aimed to test the political water in the mountain, according to the political analyst, comes amid in the spreading of anti-Ruto movement led by his former deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua. Will he manage to climb the mountain without the son of from Wamunyoro? Davis Karani reports.
The tour to the mountain by President William Ruto will be a strong decision, as political analysts will state, due to the anti-government movement being spearheaded by the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, who has been mobilizing and organizing the mountain against President William Ruto, a man, according to Gachagua, betrayed the mountain.
Alikuwa anataka tumvukishe tu, akifika atugeuke. Hii maneno ya shareholding alisema alinifukuza naye. Yeye mwenyewe ndiye alikuwa ameniambia, wewe kwenda kila pahali waambie watu wetu serikali ni ya shares. Rais ndiye aliniambia. Siku nyingine ameenda amesema, huyu anasema shares is primitive and progressive. Na yeye ndiye alikuwa ameniambia sema hii.
The president, who on Monday met with the Mount Kenya region leaders, has decided to make a bold step of touring the mountain and is expected to open several projects in an area which his former second in command and now his top critic officer terms it as his base and Ruto's scheduled tour, has spurred reactions among the Mount Kenya leaders.
Watu wa Murang'a tuko tayari kumkaribisha Rais William Samoei Ruto. Na hawa watu wote wamesema wako tayari. Mko tayari ama mko tayari?
Mimi kwa siasa mimi si nyani. Mimi siwezi fuata mtu ambaye ananipea kitu changu peke yangu. Kama ni kuangalia, niangalia masilahi ya kila mtu wa Murang'a. Na mimi nataka kuwaomba wajumbe wenzangu. Wao wanalilia kura za kesho. Kazi yao ya kesho. Angalau hawaangalii vile tutasaidia mwananchi siku ya leo.
It will be the first tour to the region by President William Ruto since the removal of his former Deputy President Honorable Rigathi Gachagua from office via impeachment, in which the president will be visiting Kiambu, Murang'a County, Kirinyaga County, Nyeri, Meru, Nyandarua, Nakuru, Laikipia, Tharaka Nithi and Embu County.
And I want to assure you, the government of Kenya is sufficient for all the communities of the Republic of Kenya. Hii serikali ya Kenya inatosha jamii zote za taifa letu la Kenya. Sio lazima jamii moja itoke ndio nyingine ingie, hapana. Sisi zote tunatoshea hapa ndani.
Will he manage to climb up the mountain to its peak, or he will slide down? In a week's time, we will know the fate of the president in the mountain. Davis Karani, GBS News, Nairobi.
Today, public interviews began for the first 6 of the 101 shortlisted candidates seeking to become the new commissioners for the electoral body in the country. This comes a day after the selection panel concluded the interviews for the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission chair here in Nairobi. Our reporter Victor Oduny followed the event.
How would you resolve those problems you have just raised?
One of them maybe is technology, or also increase of polling stations, even though it's going to be costly again.
Just a day after the Dr. Nelson Makanda selection panel concluded the interviews for the 6 candidates eyeing the country's electoral body chair position, today the panel embarked on a daunting task of conducting another rigorous public interview for the 101 candidates to fill the 6 vacant commissioners' positions. 6 candidates faced the panel. First to appear was Abdi Hafid Abdullahi Yaro, former Deputy Governor of Wajir County.
Where does voter apathy stem from? Where does it come from?
Thank you, Ambassador. It happens. Voter apathy is there sometimes because people feel that even if they vote, they don't make much change to the government. Because in Kenya now they are saying for the last 3 years, every time we choose a government, they go into bed with the opposition. So some people might even feel that why should I even waste my time and vote, because at the end of the day the governments will be together. That's one. There's also a voter apathy from especially the middle class. And the middle class feel that, going and queuing in the line and maybe staying for 5 hours, 3 hours in the line, they feel that this is waste of time, some of them. Some of them, they feel that it is I better do something else. So that long period of waiting in the lines, and that creates lots of voter apathy. People feel that I should not go and vote.
Thank you.
At around 11 a.m., it was the turn of Abdul Nur Mahalim Hussein.
In the Kenya electoral system and the laws have been described by some people as being too restrictive towards the IBC realization of its mandate. Do you agree? The laws in Kenya, the electoral laws in Kenya, they have been described as being too restrictive. There is over-registration, it's too restrictive. Do you agree with such a statement?
I don't agree.
Tell us why you don't agree.
The reason why I don't agree, these legislative pieces, when they were being drafted, I'm sure the relevant stakeholders were invited. So legislations are made for man. When I say man, I believe the ladies here are also inclusive. So these legislations came through all the process of public participation, stakeholder engagement, everything, up to parliament, where pieces are discussed, some pieces are removed, some information is added. So I believe it is a whole composite kind of piece that should be favorable to all Kenyans.
Then the stage was set for Abdi Hakim Adan Abdi.
Abdi, time we have shared together.
Yeah.
I want to allow you to ask a question or make a comment so that we can release you.
I don't really have a question. Mine is to take this opportunity to thank this commission, or rather selection panel, the chair and all honorable panelists for the opportunity that you have granted me to appear before you and actually being shortlisted. I don't take that for granted. We rarely get such an opportunity, and if I make it, I think I'll make my contribution to the country. If I don't make it, I wish whoever is given that position the best of luck, and I'll still make a comment that in your own wisdom, you find it fit to include a PWD, and it doesn't have to be me in this process, so that you also remembered in history. And thank you.
Thank you. We are seized by that fact. Thank you, and we appreciate your coming. Thank you.
Thereafter, the other three candidates got the chance to appear before the panel. Victor Udun, GBS News, at 9.
Embakasi East Member of Parliament Babu Owino has leveled explosive allegations against the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. He claims a calculated plot is underway to arrest him on fabricated graft charges. Babu Owino, speaking to his constituents today, asserted that he's received credible intelligence indicating EACC detectives are poised to raid his office. He alleges this is not a mere investigation but a politically motivated attack. Owino further claims this alleged operation is designed to coerce him into joining the current administration and to derail his rising political profile. He overtly denies any wrongdoing, including allegations of bribing. The Auditor General, the Member of Parliament, has challenged the EACC to uphold its independence and operate within the bound of the law, urging them to resist any external pressure. Now, the EACC has yet to respond to the allegations.
There is a meeting that was held last week, a meeting that involved serious stakeholders in this country, and they were asking how Babu Owino can be put down, how Babu Owino can be managed. Some proposed that Babu Owino should be approached, bought, bribed, so that he can support the government. Some came with an idea that Babu Owino should be dealt with perpendicularly, that they should send the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission to our offices to come and besmirch the good name of Babu Owino. And therefore, I was reliably informed, information from very serious sources, that this week EACC was to come visit us at our offices in Donholm, Greenspan Mall, 2nd floor. If not this week, then next week they are to come, or any other time that they will deem fit. And the intention is very clear, that we need to put Babu down. We need to tell the public that there are corruption allegations in Embakasi East office.
Former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has today made his tour to Kajiado County while championing for his forthcoming party, while flipping President Ruto's efforts to seek for the second term in office as he took him head-on collusion. Gachagua, who visited Kiserian town, continues spilling beans over deceitful language that President William Ruto used in 2022 to lure Kenyans to vote for him. Davis Karani now reports.
Arriving in Kiserian town in Kajiado County while dancing the tune of a music from his community, symbolizing how loyal he is to his community, the former second-in-command took to the sunroof of his car.
Kiserian na mjambo! Kiserian na mjambo! Enda sababu.
The division between him and his former boss pushed him to release missiles of political attacks to President William Ruto, hitting him head-on collision while regretting for having been deceived by the president.
Huyu jamaa tulimchagua akageuka akakuwa muongo. Ni muongo si muongo? Ni muongo si muongo? Kasongo aende asiende? Kasongo aende asiende? Watu wanasema kasongo aende, kasongo aende.
The ousted DP promised to launch his political vehicle during May of this year, which according to him will form presidency in the 2027 general elections. But the question still remains, will Gachagua's party be communal or it will be a national party? Davis Karani, GBS News, Kajiado County.
Nakuru Deputy Governor Davis Connes has finally broken the silence and addressed concerns over Governor Susan Kihika's prolonged absence in the county, stating that at no point was there a leadership vacuum and he has been present all throughout since the governor left. He also stated that all departments are currently running smoothly under his leadership now. The Deputy Governor defended her boss, who has been on maternity leave in the United States of America, and criticized those questioning her absence. He highlighted that Kihika's leave is legally protected and that she left clear instructions for the county's operations before her departure. Connes also dismissed claims of disarray or competition for influence among county officials, stating that leaders are working collaboratively to implement the governor's agenda. The deputy governor urged the public to respect Kihika's right to maternity leave and condemn the demeaning remarks made by some critics.
Nakuru County iko imara, tukiongozwa na Her Excellency Susan Kihika, ambaye ametuweka viongozi wote ambao wanafanya kazi katika Nakuru County wawe kitu kimoja. All the departments ndio wanafanya kazi pamoja. Kila mtu katika Nakuru County tumewekwa laini moja. Hakuna mwenye anafanya kazi yake. Sisi zote tunawafanyia kazi wananchi wa Nakuru County. So ningetaka kutoa hiyo kitu. Watu huwa wanasema ya kwamba hakuna kazi inaendelea, na sisi tuko na governor wetu ni governor tosha. And I want to tell the people of Nakuru County, nikiwa deputy governor wa Nakuru County, I'm always there 24/7 kumsaidia governor wetu. And I'm going to do all what it takes to make sure that agendas are accomplished by all means. I know quite a number of people are talking, but they want to remain relevant anyway. They want to remain relevant. Whatever they are talking, they are only just talking, but not knowing what they are talking about.
A Machakos MCA's 24-hour disappearance has ended with a dramatic twist. Dominic Maitha, represented Muthani Ward, has emerged, not abducted but in hiding. The reason? Alleged hired goons and a high-stakes political showdown. Dominic Maitha, who vanished yesterday, has revealed he went into self-imposed isolation fearing for his safety. He claims he was pursued by individuals on motorbikes, leading him to seek refuge in an Athi River hotel. The MCA alleges that the incident began in Machakos town, where he spotted suspicious figures he believed were hired to intimidate him. He immediately switched off his mobile phone and went into hiding. This follows heightened political tensions in Machakos County, where the MCA had recently threatened to table an impeachment motion against Governor Wavinya Ndeti, citing allegations of mismanagement and corruption. This threat has fueled accusations from some of the MCAs who suspect the county government's involvement in the MCA's sudden disappearance. Here's more on the story.
I know my life is in danger, and I'm not worried. When I came into politics, I became prepared that anything that can happen to me, one, death, poverty, and either riches, I'm not scared. And I want to say it clearly here and there. At no point was I given any money by the so-called purported Mheshimiwa Makau, MP Mavoko. Those are pure lies, propaganda. The bloggers who are paid even to send me messages on my phone, which I have, which I shared on social media, which can be confirmed by any authorities. I ran for safety when I saw a motorbike guy saying to you, who you, even you as a person, what could you do? So I want to say all these suckers is well organized by the county government of Machakos. And I have no regrets to say that. And I want to say this, I don't fear anything. They can come for me wherever they want to come for me, but that will not stop me from my oversight role. We have had serious sessions in the assembly for the last 2 weeks that I have raised serious issues on revenue collection, on the impeachment, on individuals who are perceived to be taking revenue from Machakos. And I can say I will not stand cowed. I'm ready to die. I'm ready to die. I supported the election of Keusia, the Speaker of Machakos County Assembly. It is in public domain, even in the assembly, and I will stand with her. I have just even received information that my colleagues have been told I had traveled to Voi. My phones, I never traveled to Voi. Anybody can go to Kinga Resort at Portland Land. I never moved out of my room since when I checked in up to today when I paid. And I've got even given the DCI the payment receipt that I paid for 2 nights and food. How could I be stupid to join a team that is fighting my best friend?
Well, it is time for us to take a short break. Keep your feedback streaming in the social media platform at GBS TV Africa. The SMS line is 21144. We'll be right back.
What is the biggest challenge that you face as an aspiring filmmaker?
First biggest challenge is still financial. Finance problem. Especially as young filmmakers, you're trying to navigate something for the first time, and there is a lot of pressure from the people in the game.
You people, you don't take it like let's say it's not like a challenge, like
it comes all round.
Like he's just challenging you to do better. Like you try to improve what you feel like you're not doing it in the right way.
This pressure comes with the challenge. First and foremost is the resources, is the finance that comes with it, because At the end of the day, as long as you're trying to create films, you're trying to improve your quality with time. Because at the end of the day, you see competition is, for example, just in the music industry. You know, you might find yourself being in the industry and you quit. Not that you can't do it, not that you can't see or you're not seeing or taking it as a challenge, as something to boost you up. But sometimes it can come and overweight. The challenge becomes too hard to bear.
Everywhere, GBS.
And welcome back. Now, Deputy President Kithure Kindiki is making a powerful call for national unity, urging Mount Kenya region to shun divisive politics ahead of President Ruto's crucial visit. Kindiki's message comes as President Ruto prepares to embark on a multi-day tour of the region focusing on development projects. The Deputy President is adamant this visit is about delivering on promises, not political maneuvering. Kindiki stressed that Mount Kenya development is intertwined with the progress of the entire nation. He warned against an inward-looking approach, highlighting the spread of Mount Kenya communities across Kenya, including areas in Lodwar, Kisumu, and Lamu. He argues that undermining other regions' concerns would ultimately harm national progress. Kindiki's message is clear that unity is not just a virtue, but a necessity for economic and social advancement.
Kwa hivyo nawashukuru sana. Wacha sasa niite mama kaunti wa Murang'a, anaitwa Betty Maina.
Asante sana, asante sana, asante sana. Kaine mwega.
Next week Mungu akitujalia, rais wa Kenya anakuja hapa Murang'a. Si namna hii? Na haja kuja mkutano ya siasa, amekuja kufungua masoko yetu, yale yamekamilika, mambo ya stima, mambo ya barabara zetu na irrigation ambazo ziko huku, irrigation project. Si namna hiyo? Tuwachane na migawanyiko baina yetu kama jamii. Tushikamane, tuwe kitu kimoja kama jamii. Na tushikiwa pamoja kama jamii, pia tutafute umoja wa taifa. Kwa sababu hakuna sehemu inaweza endelea kama sehemu zingine haziendelei. Na watu siku hizi wamechanganyika. Kuna watu kutoka sehemu hii wako kule Lodwar, wengine wako Kisumu, wengine wako Lamu, wengine wako kila mahali. Hatungetaka kujifanya ati sisi tuongee mambo yetu peke yetu, alafu tuanze kukejeli ama kuletea hao wengine mambo ya madharau. Kenya ni moja, sisi wote ni wamoja. Tutaleta maendeleo hapa Central na sehemu zingine za Jamhuri za Kenya pia zitapata maendeleo.
Kenya's manufacturing sector is at a critical juncture, balancing growth potential with persistent challenges. The Manufacturing Outlook 2025 highlights the industry's role in economic expansion, but high cost and policy uncertainties remain obstacles. Now, in response, the Kenya Association of Manufacturers, KAM, has launched the Manufacturing Priority Agenda 2025, a roadmap to strengthen local industries, boost competitiveness, and support MSMEs.
2, 1.
Kenya's manufacturing sector stands at a defining moment, with both opportunities and obstacles shaping its future. However, high production costs, policy uncertainties, and underutilized market opportunities continue to hinder progress. To address these challenges, the Kenya Association of Manufacturers has launched the Manufacturing Priority Agenda of 2025, a strategic roadmap aimed at strengthening local industries, enhancing global competitiveness, and fostering a stable business environment.
How can we encourage our own consumption in country to buy Kenya and to build Kenya? And I think we've all been struggling with this. As a manufacturer, we try to do that to bring the costs down. I guess as government, you really want this as well. But how do we do that? Because even citizens right now, we can see the younger generation of consumers love what they know, where it has come from, and they love buying Kenya. But I don't think we are always able to provide that for various reasons.
My point home to both private sector and to government is that we have to be intentional. 45 years ago, China was intentional. A couple of years ago, Singapore was intentional. And even if we go closer to African countries, Egypt has become intentional. There is no country in the world that has grown its economy only through trade. Majority of the countries in the world have grown through the manufacturing sector.
On his part, Cabinet Secretary for Ministry of Investments, Trade and Industry Honorable Lee Kinyanjui highlighted the need for collaborative solutions to long-standing barriers.
And I think we must agree until we resolve these parts. Because the other thing that every industrialist is saying, how can we have, you don't know what taxes will be there next year, the other year you don't know. Yet you have taken a bank facility for 10 years, but you only are sure of the next 12 months, and you have to service your loan for 20 years. So if we say that there's a challenge within the industry, it's because our planning, our structure of planning is not necessarily informed by the best choices. Then secondly, it is very short term. Yet industrial investment is long term. It's 20, it's 30 years, it's 40 years.
Kenya's industrial sector has long been a pillar of economic growth, yet its expansion has been slowed by high operational costs, complex tax structures, and limited regional trade. While the country's strategic location provides an advantage for global trade, inter-African trade remains low.
Study in Tharaka Nithi County reveals that children as young as 3 can successfully adjust to school, allowing mothers to engage in income-generating activities like farming. The study, now on its second year, has gained government support and could be expanded nationwide. Governor Muthomi Njuki has approved the initiative and pledged more investment in early education.
A new study in Tharaka Nithi County has found out that 3-year-old children can successfully adapt to school, allowing their mothers to engage in income-generating activities, especially farming. Kanyaru Watamiri ECD caregiver showcased that mothers could leave their children with caregivers while they worked.
Through this project, the teachers have been able to stay with the children at school, leaving their parents to engage themselves in more productive economic activities. For example, cereal businesses.
The government officially recognizes 4 years as the right age for school. Furthermore, education expert Sam Garia highlighted that the initiative has government support and could be expanded nationwide.
So our concerns in school readiness are 3 levels. The readiness of the learner to learn as they come to school. We also concerned with the readiness of them to transition in the different levels, and we also concerned with the readiness of our institutions to receive those children.
Governor Muthomi Njuki approved the study and promised more investment in early education. Mdhoni also showcased that the study involves 60 schools out of the county's 454 institutions and is funded by various organizations.
We have to roll out what is working in 60 schools in 454. We need not just determination, we need prayers, we need resources, we need determination and beyond.
This initiative was prompted by the ongoing crisis in the county, where mothers are unable to participate in the workforce due to their children staying at home until the age of 4. This move will enable parents to contribute more to the economy, while also helping children become familiar with education at an early age. Vivian Wanjala, GBS News.
Kenya's economy is showing promising signs, with growth rising to 5.2% in 2023 and further improvement expected. Prime CS Musalia Mudavadi highlighted a significant drop in inflation and stabilized exchange rates, boosting private sector credit now. However, he stressed the urgent need to reduce reliance on foreign aid, citing the termination of an International Monetary Fund program. The Mudavadi called for a crackdown on corruption, describing it as Kenya's biggest economic threat, and announced an upcoming IMF governance assessment to strengthen financial system. The government is prioritizing key initiatives like universal health coverage and affordable housing. While millions have registered for the new health program, challenges remain in the eligibility process now. The CES also pointed to progress in affordable housing projects creating jobs and business opportunities. He assured Kenyans that the government is committed to deliver on its promises, emphasizing the importance of public engagement and efficient resource management to achieve sustainable economic growth.
So the minutes has been proposed by, so if there is nothing to be amended there or correct.
In an effort to improve service delivery, Biringwiri residents from Dia constituency in Kirinyaga County benefited from the Huduma Mashinani program. This mobile initiative held at Birigwi Chief's Camp brought essential government services like registration of pension and SSF services, KRA, closer to them.
Residents from Kibirigwi, Dia constituency in Kirinyaga County, benefited from the Huduma Mashinani program, which brought essential government services closer to them.
Huduma Mashinani services, where through my office we partnered with ASTA. It's called ASTA Medical Services and Huduma Center Kirinyaga, so that we are able to bring services closer to the people. Today we are offering various services. One is a registration of social health insurance. Number two, we are also doing a registration of birth and death certificate. We'll be registering our people for NSSF services. We'll be registering them for social services, that is birth and death certificates. We've also been trying to sensitize them on the need to embrace a social health insurance fund as one of the government main agenda of ensuring that we have a healthy nation.
Tulipokuwa tunaenda kutafuta huduma, tulikuwa tunaenda Kirugwea. Ukitoka Kiangai, gharama ni kubwa. Ukitoka Kiburu, gharama ni kubwa. Ukitoka Baricho, gharama ni kubwa. Kibirigwe, gharama ni kubwa. Lakini kwa siku hii ya leo tumefurahia kuletewa huduma mashinani.
Masi Kanyi, Deputy Manager of Huduma Center in Kirinyaga, stressed that collaboration with local leaders enhances service delivery.
We're also happy to have collaborated with our Honorable Speaker, Muteti, and our area MCAs and other MCAs who had also presented themselves here, and we are grateful. So we would urge the other Kenyans, especially Kirinyaga residents, to always visit our center or places like this, whereby we bring services closer to Mwananchi.
The program also offered health checkups and eye examinations, making it a vital resource for the community. Elvin Muyodi, GBS News.
The national government has donated 1.2 tons of cotton seeds worth 4.5 million shillings to Siaya farmers to boost cotton farming and enhance livelihoods. The donation made today and received by county officials is part of efforts to expand cotton acreage and the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, with an additional of 50 tons of imported seeds expected soon.
The national government has donated 1.2 tons of cotton seeds worth 4.5 million Kenyan shillings to farmers in Siaya County in a bid to revive and boost cotton farming. The donation, facilitated by the State Department of Trade and Industry, was handed over to county officials, including Agriculture Executive Sylvester Kokoth and Chief Officer Elizabeth Adongo. Kokoth commended the initiative, stating that it aligns with the county strategy of creating employment through agriculture value chains.
We want to take this opportunity to thank the State Department of Trade and Industry for the support that we have received from them, not just today, but even last year we got quite a large amount of cotton seeds that were distributed across the whole county of Siaya.
In particular today, and part of our long-range campaign, and part of our value chain development, we are here to receive a consignment of cotton seeds, which will go to our farmers across the county. This is an important step, one, because in receiving these cotton seeds, which is going to be given to our farmers free of charge, It's going to reduce the cost that the farmers would have spent in growing their cotton. Two, it is going to encourage the commercialization of agriculture.
Representing the national government, Director of Industry Stanley Koskei reaffirmed the county's commitment to expanding cotton acreage, announcing that an additional 50 tons of cotton seeds will soon be imported from Cameroon.
And we have come here on behalf of our peers to distribute or deliver seeds to the counties. We started with Migori, and now we are here in Siaya, and we'll be going all the way to Elgeyo Marakwet and Baringo. The main aim of distributing the seeds is actually to beef up. We have no crop from production. In the ginaries also, we need to do something on ginaries and then the textile mills.
So we will expect our farmers, please plant and take good care of these seeds. This is a donation from the Ministry of Industry, but tomorrow we need also you to be empowered so that you are able to be in a position to purchase your own seeds.
Cotton farming in Siaya County has seen fluctuating fortunes due to past challenges such as low-quality seeds, market instability, and inadequate government support. However, recent government interventions, including improved seed varieties and guaranteed market prices, have rekindled interest in the sector. Hilary Kabila, GBS News.
Well, it is time for us to take a short break. Keep your feedback streaming into our social media platform at GBS TV Africa. We'll be right back.
Hello, boys and girls. How are you today? Because I am very, very happy. So we are on Kids Mind on GBS TV.
Today we're going to make ta-da! A boba tea letter set.
We are moving to singing class.
Skinamarinky dinky ding, skinamarinky doo. I love you.
The tortoise and the hare. Friends, do you know about this story?
Now you're finished to make.
Enjoy yourselves, everybody.
Everywhere, GBS.
And welcome back now to international news. The peace of South Sudan is now under balance as first Vice President Riek Machar is under house arrest, and his party claims the nation's hard-won peace deal is now dead. The SPLM-O alleges Machar was detained on March 26th after a heavily armed convoy led by top security officials stormed his residence with an arrest warrant. The party overtly denies the accusation against him. The core of the government's accusation is the alleged support for the White Army Militia, a group embroiled in a violent clash with government forces in Upper Nile State. Mashar's party flatly rejects this. Now, international reaction has been swift and very severe. The UN warns of a potential return to widespread conflict with devastating regional consequences. Human rights bodies are now denouncing the arrest as a blatant violation of international law. Regional leaders, including Kenya's President William Ruto, has called for calm. The United States is demanding Mashar's immediate release, urging President Salva Kiir to salvage the peace process. This arrest has reignited the long-standing rivalry between President Kiir and Machar, a rivalry that has been on bedrock of South Sudan's instability. Opposition parties in Democratic Republic of Congo have boycotted President Felix Tshisekedi's political consultations aimed at forming a national unity government, accusing the process of failing to address the nation's deepening security crisis.
Several opposition parties in the Democratic Republic of Congo have boycotted President Felix Tshisekedi's ongoing political consultations aimed at forming a national unity government. They argue that the consultations will not address the country's security crisis and will only reinforce a government already struggling with legitimacy. Instead, opposition leaders support an inclusive dialogue led by the National Episcopal Conference of Congo and the Church of Christ in Congo, which they believe offers a more lasting solution to the ongoing conflict, particularly in the eastern DRC. Prominent opposition figures have called for a focus on uniting the nation rather than political maneuvering. The DRC is facing a deepening security crisis, particularly in the east, where the M23 rebel group has taken control of several cities and towns, raising fears of regional war. Efforts to negotiate a ceasefire collapsed after the rebels withdrew from the talks, and Angola's president stepped down as the key mediator. Meanwhile, former President Joseph Kabila's political family, the FCC, also rejected the consultations, arguing that they were more about legitimizing the current government than addressing the people's need for peace and stability. Chiza Tiengo, GBS News.
Zimbabwe's President Emmerson Mnangagwa has appointed former Army Chief Anselm Sanyatwe as the new sports minister. The move comes just weeks after Kisi Coventry election as president of International Olympic Committee. Now, Sanyatwe's reassignment marks a significant shift as it comes amid rising political tensions within the ruling ZANU PF party ahead of the 2028 general elections. Political analysts suggest this could be part of Mnangagwa's efforts to consolidate power and shield himself from internal challenges.
Zimbabwe's President Emmerson Mnangagwa has appointed former Army Chief Anselm Sanyatwe as the new sports minister. This follows the vacancy left by Kisi Coventry, who became president of the International Olympic Committee earlier this month. Sanyatwe, who was retired from the army, now takes on a civilian role, marking a significant shift in his career. His removal as army chief comes amid rising political tensions ahead of the 2028 general elections. Analysts suggest that Mnangagwa's decision could be an attempt to shield himself from potential challenges, where factions are backing Vice President Constantino Chiwenga for a possible presidential bid.
What we're seeing now is a renewed struggle from within ZANU-PF, within factions in ZANU-PF, for control of the ruling party.
This move is a part of broader trend of reshuffling key security positions, including the heads of police and intelligence. These changes signal Mnangagwa's efforts to tighten control as political disputes within ZANU-PF party intensifies. Elvin Muyodi, GBS News.
There's a growing controversy surrounding U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Heath as the leaked Signal group chat raises serious security concerns. The Atlantic reveals highly sensitive military plans were shared just hours before a strike in Yemen. Despite the backlash, Heath and other top officials, including Secretary of State Marco Rubio, downplayed the incident. Meanwhile, lawmakers on Capitol Hill call for an independent investigation.
Texting war plans.
U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Heath insisted on Wednesday that no classified information was shared in a Signal group chat, despite a controversy sparked by a leaked screenshot. The Atlantic published an image showing that Heath had posted highly sensitive plans to assassinate a Houthi militant leader in Yemen just 2 hours before the military operation took place. However, while en route to Guam, Heath continued to downplay concerns about using a commercial messaging app for such sensitive discussions.
There's no units, no locations, no routes, no flight paths, no sources, no methods, no classified information. You know who sees war plans? I see them every single day. My job, as it said atop of that, everybody's seen it now, team update, is to provide updates in real time. General updates in real time, keep everybody informed. That's what I did.
Meanwhile, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who was also part of the group chat, addressed the issue during a visit to Jamaica. He admitted that a mistake had been made, but dismissed concerns that it had affected the military operation.
Obviously, someone made a mistake. Someone made a big mistake and added a journalist.
Is it classified, the information?
Well, the Pentagon says it was not. And not only did they say it was not, they make very clear that it didn't put in danger anyone's life or the mission.
On Capitol Hill, top intelligence officials faced another round of questioning from House Democrats, including Representative Jason Crow, regarding the incidents.
It is completely outrageous to me that administration officials come before us today with impunity, no acceptance of responsibility. Excuse after excuse after excuse. It is outrageous and it is a leadership failure, and that's why Secretary Hegseth, who undoubtedly transmitted classified, sensitive operational information via this chain, must resign immediately.
In the Senate, Republican Senator Roger, who chairs the Pentagon's Oversight Committee, joins call for an independent investigation. Roger stressed that the information in the leaked messages appeared so sensitive that, in his view, it should have been classified. Despite the growing controversy, White House Press Secretary Caroline played down its significance.
I would characterize this messaging thread as a policy discussion, a sensitive policy discussion, surely, amongst high-level cabinet officials and senior staff.
The White House also rejected the idea that Heath, Rubio, or others involved would lose their jobs, stating that President Donald Trump still had confidence in them. Vivian Wanjala, GBS News.
In Gaza, hundreds of residents have taken to the streets in protest against Hamas following the resumption of conflict in the region. This demonstration marks a significant display of frustration and calls for change as violence escalates once again. Here is more on the scene.
The streets of Gaza were alive with voices of dissent on as hundreds gathered to protest against the ruling of a Hamas militant group who have governed Gaza since 2005. This rally comes in the wake of renewed hostilities, with many citizens expressing their grievances about the group's governance and the ongoing cycle of violence that has plagued the area.
I raised my son for 15 years only for him to be gone now. I built my house for 10 years and then what? It's gone? We are done. We gave them enough chances, but you, Hamas, let us down like all people in this world. We want a decent life for us and our children.
The death toll in Gaza has exceeded 50,000 civilians who have been killed by relentless Israeli airstrikes. Protesters waved banners and shouted for accountability, demanding a shift towards a more peaceful and stable future. As tensions simmer in the background, the growing disillusionment among the residents of Gaza represents a pivotal moment in their struggle for change. Public sentiment appears to be shifting as people increasingly seek an end to the leadership that many believe has failed them. This protest not only highlights the desperation for improvement in daily life, but also underscores the urgent need for dialogue and resolution. The voices of these protesters symbolize a broader hope for peace, urging global attentions to the complexities of their situation and the necessity for the lasting solutions in the region. Triza Tiengo, GBS News.
Fear and uncertainty grip the city of Kazakh as tensions rise following the expansion of Ukrainian troops from Russian territory. Residents are expressing their anxieties about the potential for renewed warfare in the region. Here's more on the scene.
The situation in Kursk has become increasingly tense as Russian forces have successfully pushed Ukrainian troops out of the area, sparking fears of an escalation in hostilities. Local residents are grappling with the psychological toll of living in a conflict zone, voicing concern that the recent military actions could signal a wider resurgence of violence.
People live with a sense of fear, with a sense of anxiety. Of course, many have already gotten used to this feeling, unfortunately. And so in principle, at first people left. Now they have returned and are slowly starting to get their lives back on track. It is spring now. Fieldwork in vegetable gardens will begin soon, so people are returning.
You know, I want to hope for this ceasefire, but I think that in the near future, there will be no peace in our region. Because, you know, simply speaking, I think that they will continue to throw stones and everything at us for a long time, even if they do not have the means to do so or any help, but there will still be some kind of hostility towards our people, towards our land, for a very long time.
The streets are filled with apprehension, as many questions lies ahead in the ongoing conflict between the two nations. As both sides prepare for what could be a prolonged standoff, the lingering unease among Kursk residents underscores the human geopolitical strife in a region already scared by conflict. Yesterday, Russia and Ukraine agreed to a maritime ceasefire in the Black Sea. The Trump administration has stated that this marked the first step in achieving a solution to permanently end the war. Ultimately, it is crucial for the US and the European Union to engage in efforts that promote dialogue and de-escalation, fostering a pathway toward stability and understanding in this troubled area. Elvin Muyodi, GBS News.
It is time for our favorite segment of the show, the sports news. Let's get sporty. Rabat, Morocco's capital, is preparing to host several matches in 2030 FIFA World Cup, with major infrastructure projects underway, including new highways, hotels, and high-speed trains. The city is ready to welcome the world. Alongside this development, historical landmarks are being restored, ensuring Rabat's rich cultural history is preserved. The city is set to shine on the global stage, blending tradition with modernity for the exciting event.
Rabat, Morocco's capital, is preparing for the 2030 FIFA World Cup with major infrastructure upgrades, including new highways, hotels, and high-speed train connecting Marrakech and Agadir. These developments will create thousands of jobs, especially in construction, public works, and tourism, providing a significant boost to the local economy.
When it comes to things before the World Cup, there are matters related to developing infrastructure, including highways, hotels, restaurants, and a high-speed train that will reach Marrakesh initially and then Agadir after the World Cup. These are all essential matters that will create job opportunities for young people. Currently, there's a high demand for everything related to construction, public works, and the tourism sector.
The World Cup will help solidify Morocco's position as a premier tourist destination. To accommodate the influx of visitors, Rabat is expanding its hotel capacity, offering a range of options from budget-friendly to luxury.
There will be different categories of visitors, including VIPs and others who will come to Morocco specifically to see the games. So Rabat must have a diverse selection of hotels to meet the needs of all visitors arriving in 2030. The hotel facilities in the city take into account its character and history. The city is an historical heritage site and is recognized by UNESCO as one of the 7 such sites in Morocco.
The city is ready to welcome football fans and VIPs alike, displaying its unique blend of tradition and modernity to the world in 2030. Elvin Muyodi, GBS News.
We have come to the end of the news bulletin. It is always a pleasure having you on board. Let's do this again next time. Same channel. We make your news our business. My name is Stephen George, and our sign language interpreter tonight has been Paul Madenge. Good night.
Everywhere, GBS.